spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat.
This is the JB Trio Podcast.
And thank you for joining. This is Lee McDonald Jr.,
Christopher Woodmansey,
Mark, the Ancient Warrior Merchant.
and this is our season finale, episode 10, season 3, episode 10. We had our position round that ended in the first half. We also bowled our first week of the new half last night. At time of taping, it's Wednesday, the 18th. Sorry for being late. We wanted to record it afterwards, but we had to give Chris a little bit of time to heal. We can give you the results of what happened. I can say right now, it wasn't pretty, but we'll have more evidence on our Facebook page because it did get captured on video. Chris, bowling for first place. It was position round just to kind of set the mood. We bowled that night, and
Sounds like Chris.
well, for Chris's sake, it was definitely a night to forget. As you heard in our previous episode, all he had to do going in was get 14 points. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and let you tell us. Go ahead and relive the agony.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was definitely a night to forget. All we need is 14 points. My team, even including me, did not bowl up to par. When needed, we did not clutch it. We took 12 points. It took the last ball in the 10th frame by me to fuck it up.
So, in other words, you pulled the Woodmansey.
Yeah. And
the Titanic actually hit. I mean, I actually felt bad. I got to be honest with you. I didn't think it was going to happen. Just the idea of something like that happening. I mean, you guys going into that night, you guys needed 14. So the first game you guys bowl didn't take any points.
Yeah.
Did you guys take 2 or do you remember?
No, we took 2. Yeah, we took 2.
So you took 2.
And
so
started to sweat.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
A little.
We want to make it interesting.
He started sweating.
A little.
We wanted to make it interesting.
So you guys took 2. So then at that point, you only needed 12. And then you guys ended up winning the second game.
10. We took 10 the second
So you took 10. So you had a total of 12 in the second game. You just needed one person to win 1 point. Well,
Now, I got to say, there was a lot of hooping and hollering going on about 7th and 8th frame or something. I thought you guys had it wrapped up.
well,
Yeah, we thought Christian had it.
You were high-fiving and everything. And then, man, things went sideways in a hurry.
the start of that third game, it was so tense. I mean, you could literally, like if you had the predator vision, I mean, your guys' table, all of your guys' body heat, you guys were just flaming red, all 3 of you. Camilla, poor thing, was just sitting there right in the middle. Probably the whole table was dead silent. I mean, it was kind of cringeworthy. But you guys started the game. It was all tense. You guys were bowling good frame gentlemen. They were bowling pretty good, but you guys did beat them that second game. And they started the third game just hot. I think I saw Greg with 4 in a row and Elena bowled good. And then it got to about the 5th or 6th frame, and it looked like there was light at the end of the tunnel. Christian had got up to bowl. He was on a strike, and he threw like a much-needed double. It looked like he was going to be the one that was going to beat Gary. And Gary had opened in the same frame as Christian doubled. And you guys started hollering.
High-fiving.
High five. I mean, it was basically, you could hear it from one end of the alley to the other. You guys were almost in the middle, like on 23, 24. You could hear it on either end. It was crazy. Gary had got up. He opened. He come to sit down. They were sitting on the carpet.
But you're also forgetting a very small detail that Gary was also throwing chairs around.
Yeah.
Well, that's about to say he got up. They were sitting in the carpet area. When he got to his table, he just shoved this chair like it was WWE style. He just picked it up, tossed it down. He damn near hit, I think it was Dwayne that was standing near him, which you don't want to hit Dwayne. But he tossed it. The chair went flying. Dwayne nearly got hit. Gary could probably fry an egg in his head because he knew. I mean, basically, everybody knew the situation. You just guys, to win the whole league, all 18 weeks that you guys were so tensed up about, you guys only had to take one game, and Christian was on his way to do it. So that was the 7th frame. Elena's basically checked out at this point. She's already saying that you guys lost. Greg's kind of keeping to himself, but you can tell he's about to lose it. He was the one that probably kept his composure the most. And then you guys are just all like, it's over. You guys won. Now, what happened after the 7th frame, after all that happened?
I mean, once the double happened, that was in the 8th and 9th frame.
Yep.
I had a double leading into the 10th as well.
Yep.
And
that's right. You did have that double.
So after that happened, we thought basically locked it up. Even though in my mind, even though Elena was like, "Hey, good job on the win," I was like, "It's not over yet," because I didn't want to be cocky.
Oh, she said that. I didn't even know she said that.
Yeah, she said that to me. I'm like, "It's not over." To be honest,
because by then they had checked out. They checked out. I mean, it was pretty much over.
No, we heard that. I didn't want to believe that yet. Everyone else was like Brian and Christian got it in their heads. And then you see Christian throw his first ball to leave a 7, to leave the 3-6-10 pickup.
And I think Christian missed that 7.
He chopped it. He took this 3 out.
Oh, jeez.
That would made him lose by 3 pins?
Oh, that's right. Gary come back. I think once Gary had that open in the 6th or 7th, he didn't open again afterwards. He had a clean finish. And then, yes, he did come back, won with his handicap by 3 pins, barely beat out Christian.
Yes.
And then at that point, that's when I started to get scared. I was like, wow, it's probably going to happen. All Chris has to do is mark. Because after Brian had thrown a shot, I knew he was already shut out by Greg because Greg started out with the front 4, so Brian didn't have a chance. Come down to you and Elena in that last frame. Did Elena strike out, or what did she do?
No, Elena got the 9 spare, and then she left a bucket.
Okay.
It gave me all I needed was 9.
Yeah, I think all you needed was 9 out.
I had a double, but I took 5, and I tied with her.
You did the one friggin' thing that you couldn't do. You threw the ball. It looked okay. It looked a little slow, but then it came up too high, and you left the friggin' Greek church.
Now, would a spare have won it?
Yeah, I don't even think he needed a spare.
Really?
No, I thought it was just 9. I just needed 9.
Unfortunately, you opened. The whole team only ended up taking 12. I mean, after that ball was thrown, I mean, Mark, why don't you let us know how the whole bowling alley felt after Chris threw that?
Well, I got to say, Lee, you had them turn the music down just before Chris took his shot. Whole house was watching. I got to say, after that shot, Brian just took his ball, whipped them in the bag, and took off. But
we had to put his face on milk cartons. It was where's Brian side of me. I think I've never seen anybody react like all the rest of the bowlers. I mean, it was just so, we all literally felt so bad because, we joke on this podcast, we joke in person. We didn't think it was going to happen, but I mean, how the hell did that happen? What the hell happened?
I thought I threw the ball pretty decent on the safe side. The ball just hooked a little bit more and boom, split.
But I mean, what the hell happened? It's crazy. How did you do that?
That was your second Greek church, too.
Yeah, and I don't leave those on a regular basis. I don't ever leave them.
I mean, I was so stunned. I think the whole place was just stunned. It was so silent in there. And I mostly had him turn the music off so I can make the announcement that the money shot had won the whole league. I was going to congratulate you guys. But at that point, I felt so bad that I didn't want to make any announcement at all. It was just, it was the craziest finish of all. Just also seemed like the most fitting finish of all.
But at the very least, though, at least you do hold a record, a JB Trio record.
Oh, yeah?
Right? There's that JB Trio record for having the biggest lead, blowing it.
Wow. I mean, it seemed, I think we could, you know what I'm going to do? We should change your guys' team name to the Los Angeles Chargers because it was that, it was on that same level. I mean, it was 27-0. 3 weeks ago, you guys had a 70-pin lead. I mean, I'm still in shock. I can't believe it.
And it was funny because you all season long, I kept hearing you, Chris, say how you guys have led from beginning to end, and that's got to be a record.
It gotta be. It had to be.
I think you
I mean, I
jinxed
could hear it in
yourself.
your voice. It was you sound defeated. You can't explain it. It's
No.
so
It's a hard. That's why we took it so hard, and I can't even explain it either. But it just, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
think maybe you ought to look to maybe change your last name.
Well, I mean, I thought we did change our name, but it seems like here we're still the money shot. So
No, but
what'd you guys change it to?
to Titanic.
Oh, you wanted the Titanic.
yeah, but I got to say, you're living up to the Woodmansey for sure.
We're living out the win. Yeah.
So we should change the team name to the Woodmansey.
No, we're good on that part.
Oh, okay.
No, Titanic is suitable for us, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure we get that correction in there. Now, of all the bad stuff that happened to you, that's not the only thing that happened to you that past week. So why don't you tell us the good part about what happened that week?
My 300.
Your what?
My 300. My
Oh.
first one.
So you shot 300 on Friday. I couldn't believe it. You
Three
sent me the
days.
video. It was pretty intense.
It was a good shot, too. A good pocket shot.
You know, I saw some green strikes on the telescope. What does that mean?
Were those 9-pin no taps? Did you have them put it in no tap?
No, it was a clean strike game. I didn't see it coming. I told Phil and Jake that it's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. Don't hold your breath. I'm going to mess up here soon. Each frame was a strike. And I'm like, okay, don't worry. Next shot right here. Next shot.
So the green strikes are when you correct it. Were those corrected strikes?
Yeah, it was correct. Yep. Mm-hmm.
No.
No, I never had a green strike.
Oh, okay. Mark was just seeing things.
No, those might have been when his foot was over the line.
Oh.
I believe it was all a clean line, but then again, the lights wasn't on, so it was all valid in that point.
So basically, you had went from having probably one of the biggest down moments in bowling history to having probably one of the coolest moments ever on Friday.
Yeah, bowling's a bitch.
Yeah, it can be. But and that was just so you guys bowled league that night, and then it happened afterwards.
Yeah, so the lane was Josh changed up the oil pattern to a heavier.
Yeah, I heard that.
My ball wasn't moving, and it took me the third ball in the third game to finally shoot a 230 game. In the third game, and I'm like, man, this ball is looking good. So let's stay one game in practice, Camilla, and that one game right after league was a 300.
Wow, that's messed up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
so
congratulations. That's pretty cool. So that's even though it's a non-sanction, it's still. I imagine
it's still 300. In my eyes, it's still 300, whether sanctioned or not, because I still got it like that far.
Yeah, we ought to give him a keychain at least.
I mean, is your dad still giving
earned
us 300 rings?
Are you asking if he can give you a 300 ring?
Yeah.
I mean, it's valid.
I don't know. Maybe I'd have to check and see what finger size he still has.
It's valid though. It is now. So
Yeah,
I do
just
have one.
give him the one that he used to wear on his toe.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. That was pretty cool. There's video of it on our Facebook page, so if you haven't seen it yet, Chris shot his first 300 on Friday the 13th of all things.
Yes.
So funny things happen. But so at the end of our position round, we finished the first half. Good Frame Gentlemen ended up winning. They beat Chris's team, as you've heard, 36-12.
You can skip over the last two teams.
Oh, yeah, those last two teams. I think they're very forgetful. No matter what happened, that last team stayed in last. Didn't matter the results. That last place team bowled the blind, and I know for a fact that last place team, which is my team, we ended up beating the blind, but didn't matter. We were so far down that no matter what we shot, but we ended up beating them. And I can honestly say we did change our team name this past week. So for
Yeah.
the first week of the next half.
What's your reasoning with that name?
All right. So our team name is the Joey Robbed. And I don't know why the kids just said, that's a good team name. Let's go with that. We are now officially known as the Joey Robbed. We're keeping the theme, naming our team name after people. Hopefully, maybe Joey's a little bit more lucky because when we went with the Woodman D's, it was pretty much like how your guys' last week was for our whole season.
And you know what's so funny? Once you switch your names, now my team is at the bottom.
Well, yeah, we switched our team name, and then our first week that we bowled for the week one of the second half, we actually won. We beat Mark's team that night. Maybe, I don't know. There might be something in the name.
Definitely something in the name.
And Mark, your team name changed too. What's your guys' team name?
Yeah, I'd hit that better.
Team 3 is I'd Hit that consists of Trent, Richard, and Dwayne, and their team name is I'd Hit That. You guys ended up bowling them on that position round. You said you're taking their team name away. I'd Hit That better.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, so I got the sheet now pulled up. The next pair ended up being for third place. That was Team 7, the Brady Bunch against the Boyers Boys. Looks like the Brady Bunch lost to the Boyers Boys. Boyers Boys took 26 out of 48, 26 and 22. The next pair was Ricky and the Two Mix against Logan's team. Logan's team lost. They bowled them the previous week. It was a rematch. Logan's team won that week, but then the rematch happened, and then Ricky and the Two Mix ended up beating them 36 out of 48. And then you guys, Mark, bowled I'd Hit That, and that's when they continued their streak of dominance where they haven't lost in two and a half months. They ended up beating you guys 30 out of 48. And then there was my team bowling the blind team. We win 38 points out of 48.
Did finally beat Rich. It's not.
It only took you 2 seasons.
Yeah, but I finally beat the guy.
Yeah. Good Frame Gentleman won the league. Money Shot took second. Brady Bunch third. Boyers Boys fourth. Ricky and the Two Mix are in fifth. I'd Hit That, ended up in sixth. Pocket Pounders seventh. We Got Balls eighth, and Woodman D's 9.
The Money Shot does hold a JB Trio record.
How many weeks being in first place? And all those JB Trio podcast episodes that Chris said, Chris still in first place, Woodman Z.
Yeah.
Those were the memories.
Yeah, I hate y'all.
So this episode can be officially not only our finale, but the Chris Titanic episode.
Yeah.
Definitely the agony of defeat.
Man, I'm telling you. That's a wrap on the season, and then we started the new season.
Chris, you hold another record, JB Trio record.
What?
The quickest exit after a week's match. You beat Neil's record. Neil held the record for the quickest exit after a league night.
Oh, yeah.
I never saw you leave so fast after last night's outcome.
Neil, back on the first half of the season, I think it was the second week 2, had bowled on 1 and 2, and you could probably go back on JB Trio podcast episode 1, maybe 2. We had talked about how Neil bowled so bad with Jared and Gil, and they ended up winning points that night. So I don't know why they got so mad, but they bowled so bad they stormed out of the bowling alley, and everybody saw it. And then we had to talk about it on the podcast. But Chris, you stormed out of there pretty fast last night. What happened?
I don't know. The team was all getting pissed off by the way they bowled. I was pissed off by the way I bowled.
You guys letting that last week still linger over to this week?
I think we are. I think it's not lingering. It's just a remembrance of every time we come on Tuesday nights here, we know what we did that day.
Man, y'all got to do something to wipe the slate clean. Like, I don't know, just do something.
Yeah, it's not like a feeling. It's like a remembrance. Like, we remember what happened.
I know.
It's like...
Yeah. I think it's time for a new team.
Oh, man.
So new.
Oh no, you're not going to break up the team, are you?
Yeah, it's going to be like the Beatles.
You're like Jerry Jones when there's a bad situation. It's kind of like it reminds me of that kicker the other night. How many did he miss?
4.
He actually had a better week than you guys.
Yeah, he made one.
He got 1 out of 5. He got 1 out of 5.
5. Yeah, I just saw a report not too long ago that said they signed a new kicker.
Yeah, from the Patriots practice squad.
Oh, is that where he's from?
Yeah, Patriots practice squad. So,
Well,
You might have to sign somebody, huh?
yeah, you got
so
people
I'm
in
looking
line already?
I'm scouting right now.
You can't cut
teammates.
anybody.
I'm scouting new teammates right now
Oh, jeez.
because I'm
Well-
not the problem.
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys will finish this season out. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. We bowled our first week last night. It's kind of incomplete because we're waiting on Logan's team to post bowl. Ricky and his son, Caden, are out of town. They're going to hopefully make up. They bowled, good frame gentlemen, and without giving out the scores or anything like that, we'll just have to wait and see. So the scores on the standing sheet are incomplete right now. But the first pair of the bowl was my team against Mark's team, and we mentioned earlier a little bit that my team actually won for the first time in a long-ass time. We took 29 out of 48. That was a good start for us. I can't believe we won. I forgot what the feeling was like.
You know, it was a close match throughout, though. Really was. I mean, we tied the last game. And
Yeah, we did.
You know, it was a close match all the way through, really. And
It was. It was. It's been a crazy shot. Like Chris said, shot got changed a couple weeks ago.
Do have your shot.
And ever since, it's just been, I can't really say tougher, but it's different. It's definitely different.
I mean, our first game, there must have been at least 15 10 pins.
Oh,
Like,
easy.
yeah. Of course, I missed all mine.
Uncharacteristically, you must have been working on that handicap.
Oh, I missed them all. I must have left 5 the first game and missed them all.
That was selective aiming, must have been.
Yeah.
Chris, your guys' team bowled right next to us, so we got to see firsthand. You guys bowled the Brady Bunch. What happened there?
Oh man, we couldn't carry. Well, it was eating me up inside. We couldn't carry. Every time we hit the pocket, no carry. Every time we hit light, no carry. You had to be old. You had to be above 50 years old to get the carry. If we weren't reaching that 50-year-old mark, you carry. We're shit that day. George, everyone, Jared, Gil was getting carry, getting lucky like a little bitches, and getting lucky. And hats off to them, though. I mean, hats off to them. I mean, they played the game.
You're telling me you were beaten by Masha, Jan, and Cindy?
Yeah. Whoever they are, yes.
Yeah, I know Neil's team is a little bit of your nemesis, but Neil was kind of inconspicuously missing that night. He's out of town. He avoided you again.
It didn't really matter because I didn't shoot my average, my series, and it was a tough night.
Ooh, high average is in jeopardy now, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Didn't you guys have a little bet?
I bowled a 554 or 50.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the closest one was Ron, and I don't think he fared much better.
Looking at the sheet, it looks like Daniel Zed is beating me.
Well, he's not going to make up anytime soon. He had actually dropped out of the league. His average doesn't count.
Oh, I'm still leading by 2 then.
Well, let me ask you, how many games does he need to make it official? Because I might have to have him come in and sub.
It's going to be too many. I think you got to get up to 66% of the bowling.
Okay. Yeah.
So
2/3 of the league, 2/3.
No chance. I think if he even came back and finished out, I don't think there'd be enough weeks.
Yeah.
But
that sucks.
So yeah, Chris.
So yeah, other than that, I mean, we all took 1 point each. Christian 2, Brian 2, me 2. But yeah, it should have been an easy game for us, but by the way they were bowling, but it wasn't because we sucked just as much.
The old guys just lined you up.
Yeah, the old guys they cheated their way to victory. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, Neil didn't show up, and he had George bowl for him, and George probably bowled out of the whole league. He had the highest series.
Yeah, but his first game was a 167 with a 26 pin handicap, which I don't believe that because George, and then he bowled a 167, a 256, and then come back with a 210.
And
With
guess what he won? He
26 pin.
won the last night's Woodmansey Award.
Yeah, fucking.
Thank God he did, though, huh, Lee? You
Oh,
might have been right.
yeah. I did something. I had like 80. I had a 152.40. So, but he barely beat me by just a few pins. He bailed me out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would have been another podcast winner of the Woodmansey Award.
I was actually trying to get it, though. I was thinking I'm the only one who hasn't gotten it yet. So I was looking at it as kind of like a badge of honor. So I was
haven't
actually
gotten
trying for it.
I haven't gotten it.
I was thinking, I can get my picture taken and
Get my picture taken.
make the Wall of Fame, but no, I'm not even good enough to get it.
Yeah, we got to get a nice little collage going with all those pictures.
Yeah.
We ought to.
For the end of the year.
I think next week I'm going to get an update out there, and maybe we'll post all the pictures on the collage next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we should just get some of those pictures and throw them up there. You know what I mean? Like a little, like, how they have videos where they just snapshot into the next picture and the next picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool if you could pull something like that off on your on the JB Trio site,
That's definitely doable, and I know Peyton's got all the pictures. There's a couple weeks, though, I've got to go back and find out who won, I think, the last 2 weeks. Chris's team, unfortunately, only took 6 last night, so that was a win and a victory for the Brady Bunch, 42 out of 48. Next pair, looks like I'd hit that against the Boyers boys. Boyers boys took a beating. I'd hit that one 36 out of 48. Let's see, the next pair was Team 6. Oh, that was the new team. We have a new team. So we used to have a blind team for the first half, and now we've got a team to fill that spot. They haven't named their team yet, so we'll just call them Team 10. Team 10 is made up of former JB Trio bowlers, so they're coming back. Jerry Boudreaux, who is Ricky's mom, Mark Gates, and Mark Millar. They bowled JB Trio prior to the pandemic hitting. Once that hit, a lot of people dropped out, including them, but they're back, and so we're happy to have them back. They all set their average, except Jerry, since she bowled with us last year, and they cleaned house. Their first night, they ended up bowling Ricky's team, Jerry's son, and the two mix. They had lost to Jerry's mom's team, and Jerry's mom's team ended up winning 46 out of 48. They just cleaned their clock, so they're currently sitting in second place. We're just waiting for the last bowling match for Team 2 and Team 4, Good Frame Gentlemen, so their scores are unofficial. I guess in a way you could say for right now, until all the scores are the official, Jerry's team is in first. And they're currently getting a ton of handicap. They're sitting in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, that is a ton of handicap.
That's crazy.
They've got like 2 extra bowlers now.
I know, exactly.
That handicap.
I wonder who gets them that first week. Oh, it looks like it's you, Mark.
Yes, it is. We got to bowl 5 people next week.
Yeah.
Welcome to another segment of Beat Mark's Picks. Just to run down what happened first half with our season ending in week 18 was a very good week for all of us, really. Our guest, Jared, who joined us, had a pretty good week of picking. It ended up Lee and Mark at 5-0 the last week. Chris and Jared 4-1. And Chris can tell us who that one team was that lost.
Was it us?
Of course, it was you against Good Frame Gentlemen. That was your one loss. But to recap the final totals of the season, Lee, you and me are tied at 36.
No way.
Yeah, 36, 23, and 1. First half, you are tied in the honors of first place. Chris, you finally broke 500 at 30 wins, 29 losses, 1 tie.
Jeez.
And our guest record is 4-1. Jared being our guest, first guest of the season, pulled 4-1.
Yeah, I still have a chance. So y'all are already 6 away. So I
But I will say, Jared didn't lose picking Chris's team. He lost picking my team against I'd Hit That.
Oh, you let him down.
Yeah, we let him down.
Oh, well. Wow, I can't believe we tied. That is nuts.
Yeah.
So still nobody has yet to beat Mark's picks. I
No,
guess
brand new season.
We get to still keep it in your name.
Yes, and we got a brand new half to start.
Well, that was the fun half, so we're going to go ahead and start fresh. So, Chris, you got a chance.
Yeah, the slate's clean, Chris.
right.
0. Everybody's got zeros.
Let's do it.
And now, actually,
There's a
we did make
rematch.
some picks, though, didn't we? We made some picks for this first week.
Oh, yes, we did. Yeah.
I think I had 2 and 2, and Mark, I think you had 3 and 1, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm 1-3.
Well,
And
Chris, you had a minute there that you were
Yeah.
in there, but well, I guess it's back to where you normally are.
yeah, myself, I went 3 and 1. Lee, you went 2 and 2, and Chris did go 1 and 3. So
That's it.
that was the tally.
That seems to be like what our normal positions are. It's like
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the middle, and Mark's on top, Chris on the bottom.
I just had faith in too many. I'm
Yeah.
believing.
That was kind of like finale night of bowling. You had too much faith.
Yeah.
Man, I
Yeah.
still can't believe that. Man, if you had just like even your old 9 pin you had from last year, if you'd have left that stone 9, you guys would have won.
Chris, how are you guys with rematches?
Rematches?
Yeah, like
Not
there's
that our percentage rate against rematches, especially with that team, not good.
really because this week, Good Frame Gentlemen's
Oh, holy crap.
facing the Titanic.
On the same pair. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, we're leaving.
Special on that one because I didn't even see that. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So Team 5 is going against Team 2 on the same friggin' pair. So basically, it's position round part B.
Yeah. Good Frame Gentlemen now versus the Titanic.
So this is your moment to exact some revenge on those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you start the picks out?
We've been against them 3 times, and those 3 times always had a losing record with them.
Oh man, they're your curse.
Yeah.
So why don't you start us out with the picks? Does that mean you're going to reverse the curse and pick yourself?
I'm actually going to pick them.
Oh man, yeah. I think I hate to do it to you, buddy, but well, you know what? Let me before I make my pick. Mark, do you have the spread for that?
Yeah, but I don't want to tell you. No, this really could be the first time in history I'm going to take Team 5.
Really?
Yeah, only because one, they've changed their name. Their name definitely fits them well.
You like this new Titanic, huh?
I do.
It seems like this, they're more miserable than usual.
Yeah, I like this new team's name because, they really know who they are.
This losing culture.
But the spread is 15 in this game. Good Frame Gentleman gets 15 pins. I really do like the Titanic in this match. Team 5.
Well, you love that name.
I do.
Well, Chris, this may surprise you. I'm actually going to go with your team.
What?
But I'm going to tell you why. Because Elena had bowled her 3 weeks. Her average is no longer locked. So now it's in the 200s. So that means the spread's going to be a little bit bigger for you guys. So I think that you guys getting these extra pins.
Good Frame Gentleman's getting 15 pins.
Now, when you were bowling them, though, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was
28.
almost, you guys.
I can tell you what it was. It was 23. So it was 8 more pins.
So now it's only 15, though.
Right.
So that's about a mark. I mean, it's not huge, but I'm going to play the revenge factor card. I'm going to play the less pins, the less spread card. Chris is due for a good week. He had that bad week on the finale night. He bounced back with a 300, and then he had a bad night last night. So I think it's his bounce back week. So, Chris, I'm going to go and pick you guys on all those factors.
Wow.
But
that's a shocker.
Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment.
I'm confident Chris can shoot well in practice, but I'm not quite sure in the match. But I think Good Frame Gentlemen, they're going to be laid back because they've already taken this first half.
Exactly. That's another good point. They're going to
pretty relaxed.
It's going to be a cruise to the finals now because they already got their spot locked for the finals. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
So the next pair is Team 6, Ricky and the two mix going against I'd Hit That. The original I'd Hit That, now that we got two teams with that name, they are just dominating. I'm going to go ahead and keep my pick in line with their dominance. Hopefully I'll pick them enough to where they can ride me to victory at the end of these beat Mark's picks that I can never seem to win. And so I'm taking Team 3.
Oh, yeah, that's a good pick. I'm Team 3 on the way.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm going with Team 6.
What?
Really?
Yes. Ricky
Okay.
and the two mix.
Just go ahead and change.
Yeah. I don't know. I got the feeling like I'd Hit That's getting burned down. I mean, look at their averages are starting to move in the right direction. It's been that way for a long time. Dwayne is starting to bowl what he should be bowling. So they don't have the big spreads that they used to. They're at 69 pins they'll be giving Ricky and the two Mick. I don't know. I got a feeling Ensline and Henderson and Ricky will get it going.
There you go. There you go. And yeah, I think they're due. They had a really big letdown last week. I was talking to Ensline at the end of the night, and he was figuring in the scores and everything. I could just tell in his voice that they were pretty defeated by the whole night.
Yeah.
So I think they're due for a bounce back win. It's just hard to pick against I'd Hit That. I mean, 2.5 months straight of winning. I mean, that's a lot of winning. So I'm going to keep my pick with them for right now. It might change in the future, but I'm keeping it with them for right now.
I look at it like Dwayne, his entering average 206. Now he's at 203. So he's back where he should be. They're starting to run out of that rum that they had in the past. Like when you were bowling that team before, it was like bowling an extra guy. They got so much people,
Right. His average was in the 180s around there. Now it's already in the 300s. And Richard, he's not quite back to normal, so they still got a few pins from just Richard.
Yeah. They do still got a few pins with Richard. I just feel like, and Henderson's he's been down a little bit. Last few weeks. I think they're going to turn it around.
Yeah, he and Ensline didn't bowl very good at all last night. They stunk it up, and I don't know, maybe it's strategy. They pick their weeks that they know they're going to win. They knew bowling against that new team last night, they were giving up pins to them, and so maybe they kind of are setting it up so they bounce back this week. Who knows? But the new team, which is currently technically sitting in first, pending the results of the other two teams, they're bowling against you guys. I'd Hit That better. That's going to be on 27-28. Why don't you go first, Mark?
Yeah, and truly we do hit that better than I'd Hit That. But this is 118 pins we are giving.
And that's just the spread.
Yeah, that is definitely a whole bowler.
Yes, 3 against 4.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of room for mistakes, Obviously, if one of those guys throw a 3-bagger, you're out of it. What I mean? But I think we're going to pull this one out. Somehow I get a feeling we'll do something to pull it out, even if I have to hide a few people's bowling balls or put some powder in the hole or,
That's why my ball had powder.
Yeah. Talk them out of a shot or something. I'll have to work on them.
You'll have to start flirting with Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, Jerry can be dangerous. I mean, we've bowled her before and she's got it going sometimes.
There you go. What do you think, Chris?
I'm actually going for Jerry's team.
Dang. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue that spread. That's that's tough.
That tells you right away, Lee, who you need to go with. Remember, Chris. His first week was 1-3.
Chris.
Yes, first week was 1-3. So you might want to think twice.
Ooh, man. They were bowling. They had a lot of fun last night. They were all back. They were in the bar a lot. They all above their average, even though some of them were setting average. I just think I have that feeling that Ron is going to pull something out. He was practicing after we all finished, and I think he shot close to 250, 260 in one of those games. I think he worked out something there. I think he figured something out. I'm going with you guys. I'm going to pick I'd Hit That better to win that night. sort of even things out because you guys are at the bottom, they're at the top. So I think it'll even out. So I'm going to pick you guys.
Wow.
I'm going to go against the spread. I'm going to put my faith in Mark's team.
So let me ask you, on their averages, are they all frozen, or how is their averages?
The only time the averages are not frozen is when they set averages. So both the Marks hadn't bowled any league bowling at all since pre-pandemic. I'd almost say this is the first time they got out of the house, period, since the pandemic hit. But
No,
basically, they are coming back since bowling 2019. So since they don't have a book average
you
anywhere,
got to take whatever their average is.
they
Yeah.
got to set average, and so they
Okay.
just take their average.
Wow. And then they took 48. I mean, 46.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
It wasn't so much because they set average.
The
Again,
other,
it didn't matter what they bowled. It mattered what Ricky and
yeah,
the two Mikes bowled because they really bowled bad.
yeah, they had to have. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. So Jerry's team did the best or nearly the best what they could do, which is just to set lower averages with a lot of handicap, take as many points as they could. They took 46 out of 48. So they really set themselves up for a really good start.
Yeah.
And then the next pair we've got Team 4 and Team 9. That is the Pocket Pounders, which they have yet to bowl the makeup game. So we'll have to wait and see. And then against the Boyers boys, who had a really rough night last night. I think they're having a tough time adjusting to the shot because it's not the easiest shot. There's a out of bounds, which hadn't been there in a long time. So whenever you get the ball too far outside, it hangs. So with the over-under being really tough, bowling on that, their balls roll over that a lot. And I've noticed Patrick's been throwing a lot of gutters because of that.
Wow.
So he's been struggling a lot for these last 2 weeks. David's not been doing too great. He's up and down, but he's been bowling pretty good before the shot change. And Kiefer's trying his best to hold him up. Unfortunately, they took a bit of a nosedive there in the end. It's hard to say exactly what Logan's team's going to do. I know Logan kind of trailed off too. I wonder if he's having a tough time with the shot. What's the spread on this, Mark?
The spread is 2 pins.
Just
Wow.
2 pins? Holy
2
crap.
pins. And, I was, honestly, I was going to take the Boyer boys, but man, you just talked me out of it, Lee. I'm taking Pounders. You
They
did.
have been. They've been struggling last night.
Yeah, you talked me out of it. I mean, I didn't get a chance to see how well they bowled last night, but
Yeah.
with everything you just said, I'd be crazy not to take the Pocket Pounders.
I'm actually probably going to go there with you because I think this new shot's more about ball speed, and they definitely got more speed than Boyer's boys, although Kiefer throws it pretty hard. This new shot's got a lot of people screwed up. Like if you look at our sheet, there was only 3 if we include Elena. There was only 3 600 series shot. Everybody else was under 600, which is, I mean, we got guys that are in the 700s, but we didn't even have that. We only had 3 guys in the 600s last night. It's been quite a struggle.
On our pair, I think Kai was a 580 or something, maybe. I mean,
with that extra oil on the outside, balls hanging, it's like 10-pin city.
This might help the two-handers,
It could. It really could. Logan's two-hand and Caden. And each guy probably throws, even Rick, I imagine, probably is in the 18-mile-an-hour range.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with them.
I'm going to go for Pocket Pounders, too.
So it's a clean sweep.
I was going to go for Kiefer's team, but holy shit.
Lee talked us out of it.
Well, hey, got to keep tabs on all of our teams.
You talked to us.
We got to scout all the teams because this beat Mark's picks is pretty serious.
Yeah.
Lastly, we're going to finish off with my team, which I can't believe it. We're actually above 500 to start the league for the second half.
That might only last a week, Lee. So
I'm sure it is. It's us against the Brady Bunch. Neil's victorious return from where is he coming from? Was he in Wisconsin or where was he at?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was surprised. I think he was in Wisconsin. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing there. Buying some cheese.
Watched the Packers lose to the Lions.
Yeah, I think he was there to buy some cheese.
He's going to come back in his glorious return, and we're bowling on 31-32. Who the hell knows with this new shots what's going to happen there? What's the spread on that? We got a spread on that one?
Yeah, the spread is 40 pins. That's
40?
Yeah, 40, 40. That's exactly what you had against us just the other night. And I got to say, I was shocked that Leland didn't throw one single gutter ball.
I know. That's crazy.
Like has he not thrown gutter balls lately? I mean, he was throwing a good ball,
Well, I tried to tell him, I said, this new shot's tough. And I told both boys this, same thing I told you guys about pocket pounders, is that it's a speed shot. You got to throw hard. It's a 43-foot long oil pattern. It's not the shortest, but it's also not the longest. It's just a regular league house shot. But it's got that out of bounds, though, and you just can't let the ball just sail out there because it ain't coming back. Told them, you guys got to throw harder. You got to throw right at the pocket at the 1-3, and you got to rely on less hook. Help Peyton out a bit last night. It's even helping me out a little bit, but Neil's team, they got speed. They can throw it pretty firm, although George kind of bailed them out last night against Chris. George bowled really good.
Yeah, George did bowl really good, and I got to hand it to the Brady bunch on not inviting Brian Curtis back.
Well, I think last time Ryan bowled, he only shot like 580 against Chris, and Chris's head got really big that night.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. Chris won $20 off me that night.
Yeah, how about that?
So they definitely needed a change. I think it worked out well for them last night. But Lee, man, this really is a tough match. Seeing how I felt Leland bowled much better than I've seen him bowl when we've bowled you guys.
Yeah.
Peyton is Peyton, and I think it's with getting 40 pins, 4 marks, it's, to me, pretty tight. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as you would think to take the Brady
off the 300. He bowled 300 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Neil's back, so he doesn't have a shot at throwing 300.
Man,
I don't know. This is really a tight one. I just have to see what Chris is going to do.
I'm going for Team 7.
Wow, I can't believe you're picking your nemesis.
Yeah, because like you said, they're determined. Gil and Jared, they're out. Neil, I haven't seen him, but those two players, they're out. They're out to get you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with their team. I'm just very worried because, our track record says it all. The last 2 months, I think we've had 3 victories, and 2 of them were against the blind. I'm gonna have to go with Neil's team.
Okay, I'm going to go with your team, Lee.
Oh my God!
I'm going to go.
There's the ultimate kibosh.
Yeah, I'm going to go with your team.
You're picking
how about that?
The people who's supposed to win.
I'm going on the notion that Chris is going to go 1-4 this week. So,
is that what it is?
So he's going to, so he'll win one game, and it might not be that one.
You're following the golden rule. Pick opposite of Chris.
Yeah, I didn't pick my team to win, and he went for me.
I know what's going on. None of us picked our own teams.
Yeah,
it's like none of us have any faith in our own teams. How about that?
Things are looking pretty good because as I look at this, there are 4 out of 5 that I'm opposite Chris. Got a good chance to go 4-1.
Oh man, yep. Just like the previous seasons. It's worked for you so far. You've won every season that we've had. Beat Mark's picks.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
All right, so we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a power ranking. We're going to pick the teams that we think are going to go from first to worst. So let's start out who we all think is going to be in last place. And God, I did not want to do this. I hate picking last. Chris, you go first. Who do you think is going to be in last?
Last, as a two.
When the finish happens, what team is going to be in last place?
I want to say.
I told you it's not easy.
I want to say
maybe we should skip it. Maybe we should do just who we think is going to be in the top 4.
Yeah, top 4 first.
All right, you want to do just top 4, Mark?
Yeah, we don't want to embarrass Team 10.
I thought you were
going to say Team 5.
No.
I was debating.
We don't want to embarrass Team 5, the Titanic.
What? It's either Team 10 or Team 6.
So 4th place. This means that you've made the top half of the league. If we got 10 teams, you're above 500 and you're above the 5th place team. Out of all the teams that we've got, I'd have to say the perfect fourth place team is probably going to be. I'm actually going to pick the Boyers boys.
Oh my God, me too. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
They have a very well balanced team. Although the only reason why I'm picking them fourth is because they had a slow start. I don't see them breaking out of the slow start, but they did the same thing in the first half. They started out kind of mid. They got up there. They almost had a shot. They were close to you guys for taking first place, and they kind of trailed off in the end. I remember they had that. They're one of the few teams that had that 2,200 game against Mark's team. I'm going to pick Boyers Boys for my fourth place.
Yeah, same with me. There's just a team that will get close to it, but won't pull the trigger to get to it.
So, Mark, who's your fourth?
You know, when I look at this, I always try to look at who's got room to improve. You know what I mean? I just don't see them having, I don't see there's a lot of room there with the Boyer boys. I really don't. I'd have to say, God, this is really tough, but I'm going to say the Pocket Pounders.
Oh, okay. They're on the same par as Boyers Boys, because I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I think what's going to help them is, you know, if the shot continues to be like it is, and it could change down the road, but the two-handers, you know, I just think they're going to be there.
And they got two of them, Logan and Caden.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that's a good fourth pick. For third, now we're talking the top three, which top three can get pretty serious. And I know top three for the first half between Chris and Good Frame Gentlemen and Boyers Boys was pretty intense. I'm actually going to go with something different for my top three. My top three, third place, because they had such a great start, I'm actually going to pick the brand new team. I'm picking Team 10. They don't have a new team name yet, but I can't remember how they used to bowl or what places they ended up in, but I just think that such a good start and that spread. I mean, 118 just against one team, and I think that's going to be a pretty common theme throughout the rest of this league, that when we go through these beat Marks picks, we're going to pretty much say that they're going to get at least 100 pins every game, and that's hard to beat. I'm going to go with them taking third place.
Wow. Okay, mine's different. I'm going to say I hit that. I'm thinking only because like they're good bowlers, they're really good, especially with what they're achieving now. But I feel like they can't rely on the handicap they get from Trent, and they're going to choke at the very top.
Did you say cheating?
Trent with his
Trent. Oh, I thought you said cheating.
They can't rely on his handicap. They can't rely on Trent's handicap all the time.
Oh, okay. Not his cheating, but his handicap. Okay.
Rich handicap is going to adjust. I mean, it's going to be down to where they have to start bowling every game like they mean it.
Yeah.
They're going to fall.
They only took 6 in the first half. I mean, putting him in third, that means they'd climb.
You know what, though? They did have that forfeit.
They had a forfeit week, too. That's right.
And that was huge.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the same team. I think that team is going to come third. I think it's going to be on the back of Richard that's going to get there. He's the guy that I think's got room. I think Dwayne's got a little room, but, you know, he's starting to get back into where you would normally see him. And I think Trent, I don't know if there's much room left there, but I still think that Richard, he's got some room to improve. So I think that's going to be enough to put him in third.
Well, yeah, I think that's definitely good. Moving on to second, this is basically for the whole thing between first and second. Second place basically means that they lost to first. This is where I'm going to put a top contender team. I'm putting Good Frame Gentlemen here. I think
what?
They're going to coast by. They're a hell of a team. I think adding Elena, who's returning. She's a former JB Trio bowler. She's definitely improved. I think this might be a shot fit for her because last year she didn't average this high. She was probably in the high 180s, low 190s. But again, this is more of a speed shot. And I think with the extra oil on the outside, because her ball revs are just insane. So I think the reason why she's in the 200s now is because of this shot. now that it's unfrozen. So I think she's going to actually improve that team. But I think they're just going to be just short of first place only because they took first in the first half. I wonder how they did that. Don't think they're going to. I think they're going to relax just enough not to take first in the second half. But I am going to put them up there. So I've got them in second.
Okay. Did not see that coming. I'm actually the second place team is going to be. Here it goes.
No, don't do it.
It's going to be the money shot.
Oh, I was hoping you guys.
Wait, I didn't think there was a team called the Money Shot.
This is going to be the money shot.
He's going to reclaim his name.
Wait a second. The Money Shot. Its season ended.
Hashtag the money shot.
Are you talking about the Titanic?
Yeah, sorry, it's the Titanic. It's going to be the Titanic.
No, go ahead and say the money shot because you're going to reclaim your name when you guys finish in the top half again.
Money shot as second place. They're going to lose to the first place team, which is going to be.
Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. Wait till we get to the first.
Look at. I know who leads for the first place team, and I know who Chris is taking for the. Look at. I'm going with. Since I'd hit that in third. I'm definitely going to take the team. I'd hit that better for second.
Oh, wow.
Only because, I think our team could have been in better position the first half if it wasn't for our schedule. There was at least 3 weeks. We had to face the top scores in the league, and anyone else, we would have taken 38 or better, So I think us finishing 8th, which was extremely disappointing, we definitely could have finished much better if we had the schedule that the Money Shot had early on. It wasn't in our cards. It just like that. It's who you bowl when you bowl them. Sometimes I expect us to do much better than I'd hit that. I'd hit that better is my team too.
Wow, that's nuts. So you guys both pick your own teams for second.
Wow, that's a shocker.
I'm surprised you guys didn't pick them in first.
I was going to take my team first, but I wanted to take this other team because I want to see them beat the shit out of the Money Shot in the roll-off.
Well, remember, Money Shot didn't make it in the roll-off, so the only way
they didn't. Oh, my God, yes, I forgot.
So the only way they could do it is if they win, so maybe you got them in first.
Well, maybe it's the bridesmaids. That's right. They did first.
That's right. The reality's kicking back in.
No, I keep thinking all those weeks that Chris said.
He convinced us. He convinced the whole league. That's why we're all in shock.
He'd end the podcast saying,
we had the victory speech all made. Everything was.
Yeah.
We had the reception planned. We had the speech written out.
The T-shirts made.
We had the T-shirts made. We had the ball caps made. They had the champagne in the locker room. It all was for naught.
Yeah.
Let's move on to who we think is going to be in first place. So this is it right here. Been thinking long and hard about this.
Oh, you haven't thought long and hard. We all know who you thought.
I've been thinking long and hard on this.
Ricky and the Two Mix.
Really?
They probably will end up doing it in real life. But my prediction is who I've always said is the most dangerous team in the league. And that's I'd hit that with Dwayne, Richard, and Trent. My opinion is they are truly the most dangerous team. They have an unbelievable winning streak, 2.5 months of winning. I think they're going to continue to ride that, and they're going to shock us. They're going to take first place in the whole league.
Wow.
And that was, I'd hit that better?
Yeah, that new team, I'd hit that better. No, I think Dwayne's going to carry him. I think he's shown that he's already in the 200s. I actually think he's going to, sorry, Chris, but I think he's going to finish high average in the league.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what do you guys got?
Me, I have to say my team's going to take second. I hit that's going to take third. And then first place, that will beat Good Frame Gentlemen. That will beat them. It's going to be the Brady Bunch.
Oh, man, I can't believe you did that. Your nemesis team. That had to be tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but it's realistic. We're going to lose to them by 4 pins. for 4 points.
Is it going to come down to the last game and the last frame and the anchor bowlers?
It is going to be like that. Brady Bunch in the Titanic.
Oh, man.
But they are going to take first place. Yeah, and they're going to beat Good Friend Gentlemen.
Wow. Mark, what do you think?
Thinking about it, I'm going to switch. I think I had the Pocket Pounders coming in fourth, but I think they're going to win first.
Wow.
Yeah, I just think the Pocket Pounders will win first. We'll put the Brady Bunch fourth.
Wow, that's crazy. Man, what made you change your mind?
I just, I kept thinking about the two-handed delivery. I think that's going to be a difference the second half, the shot. I think the Brady Bunch is going to run out of gas.
That's very true. That's a good point.
It could, yeah.
Well, how about that? So I'd hit that. Chris has Brady Bunch and Mark has Pocket Pounder. So we all got somebody different. Man, that's crazy. We'll have to keep this segment updated. We'll have to have updates periodically because, man, that was definitely interesting.
Yeah, so to recap, Lee, I'd hit that.
Yep.
Good Frame Gentlemen, team number 10, and Boyer Boys.
Yep. That's my top four.
Chris has got Brady Bunch, the Titanic. I'd hit that, and Boyer Boys.
Yep.
And myself, Pocket Pounders. I'd hit that better. I'd hit that, and Brady Bunch.
And there is our power rankings. First time we've done that, something new that we're going to start for the season. It might not be a weekly thing. It might be every so often we'll update it. But this is it. So we'll have to wait till the end of the league, and we'll come all the way back to this episode here just to see how true and how close these power rankings ended up.
And nothing against those teams that we didn't mention.
Yeah.
They're liable to surprise us.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. I am so sorry to say that my team did not carry the first place of half the season. All that shit talking and all that did not come through for us. It hurt us at the end. But we are here to make a redemption. We'll try at least or have fun the rest of the remainder of the season. Please tune in for next time. And a word of advice: when it comes to the last ball, do not leave a grease church.
And that's a wrap. Season 3, episode 10. That's our finale week.
It almost sounds like Chris is a changed man now, huh?
I know. It sounds more defeated.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, maybe he'll change next week when we start our new episode 1, season 4.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, guys. Had a lot of fun. Hope y'all join us next week.